Well, good afternoon. This is a venue I've been wanting to fish for a considerable time. I'm at Castle Ashby Fisheries, a beautiful, very shallow, very silty old series of estate lakes. I'm on the middle lake today, which is the Scotland pond they call it, and it's 18 inches at one end and it's a 2.5 to 3 foot at the end where I am. So I'm at the deep end, even though it's 2.5 to 3 foot deep. So, but it's beautiful. I'm out the wind because there's a hell of a wind today. But you can see all the leaves. You can see all the leaves there. So everything. So it's time of year now. The leaves are starting to come down. So, but it's beautiful because I've parked behind my peg. You see my van there. So I've parked behind my peg, and I'm tucked out of the wind between these two trees. So and that's it. I've just brought my commando mission box and everything. I've been on the road 2 hours 45 minutes, and this is all I could fit in my van. And as I say, I've been driving so long, I made a detour on the way back, and I thought I'd just stop off at Castle Ashby and try and make the most of such a long journey. So yeah, that's what we do. We're going to try and fish expander pellets on the feeder. That's what I want to catch. I've got other baits. I've got corn, worms, dead maggots if I need them, but primarily I'm going to try and catch with expanders on the feeder. This place is synonymous with expander pellets. The ringers, the famous ringers, Steve Ringer, Phil Ringer, Jeff Ringer, they sort of pioneered expander pellet fishing, and it was at this place and Northamptonshire venues where they first did it all. So so it's synonymous with expanders, this place. They fish them on the waggler and things as well. Because it's so shallow and silty, it sort of lends itself to a nice soft bait, and there's a lot of skimmers. That's what we're fishing for, skimmers and bream. There are carp in here, but I'm not bothered about those. I just like to catch some nice looking skimmers. So yeah, so there we are. I'll show you my bait because it's very simple. I've got some micro pellets, just a handful of those. I've got 2 lots of expanders, some Sonobaits Pro expanders, which is what I'll start with, but I've got some old school ones that you would normally pump, but I've left these buoyant. I've just soaked them, but they're floating, so they might help counterbalance the weight of my hair rig or my hook. So we'll see what they're like, but normally I just fish these. I've got these in 4 and 6 mils. I put a little bit of washed out bait booster on them, and that's it for ground bait. It's got to be Super Crush expander, hasn't it? I could have put a bit of F1 in it or whatever, but yeah, I've just gone with some Super Crush expander. We'll knock a little bit of that up, we'll wet some pellets, and then we'll be in business. Just slop it up. Should we do a little bit more? What do you reckon? Let's do a little bit more. It's idiot-proof Super Crush expander as well. You can over-wet it, and you never ruin it. It never goes lumpy. This will dry out and pass through a riddle lovely. So just knocking that up, nice yellowy golden colour. I just want it soft and fluffy. There we are, and we'll pass that through a riddle in a bit. But that's it, we're done there. And then get a little bit more water. A little bit more water, and we'll whack some micros in there. Just let them soak off. I'll drain that off in a sec. Won't add them all. That'll be it. That's it. Plenty. And we've just got some little feeders. I might try these links as well. Some little tiny feeders. Up to, probably going to start off on a little 5 gram feeder, similar to my canal session. So yeah, that's it. That's my XRS light feeder ethos rod, 11 foot. Nice little rod for skimmers. I'm going to pair up with top of the range this time, HXS Pro 3000. Beautiful reel. If you've not tried these, they are the smoothest reel I've ever used. Let's thread the line up, and away we go. The old trusty banana. Gone for a 1/2 ounce cover tip, so it did have an ounce in, but I'm swapping it to a 1/2 ounce. The more sensitive the better, really. I'm not chucking it far either. Yeah, £6 Horizon mono on that. Beautiful. Let's just drain those off. Still don't think you need a pellet wetter, but each to their own. That's my pellet wetter. Leaves are falling. Here's one of those feed links. Right, we are ready. We're ready and rocking and rolling. I am on peg 4 on Scotland Pond, and I've all set up. That's all my bait I've got there. I'm going to fish for 2 hours. More if I'm enjoying it, and less if I've caught loads already. I need to go and pick my daughter up from school, so we're against the clock, and we're just going to try and catch as much as we can in a couple of hours. I'll show you my setup very quickly. I've just popped a bomb on just to get my range. So I've just got a free running setup. I've got one of the feeder links, just like a stiff boom, keeps everything away, and I think that's important when there's a lot of silt about. I just think it helps keep this above the silt. So this is 6 pound Horizon mono, and then my hook length is 0.15 fluorocarbon. And rather than loop to loop, today I've just water knotted it, just to cut down on spin and resistance and tangles and everything like that. So I've just gone with a water knot. Because it's free running, I've basically got 2 rubber float stops there. There's a tiny one and a long one, and I'm just going to move that up and down to dictate the length of the hook length. So that free runs. So I'm going to start off about, I don't know, 15 inch, something like that. And yeah, so that's 0.15 fluorocarbon, and I've just got, oh, cormorant. You see that? Great big cormorant. Not a good sign. So I've just got a 16, and I've got a extra strong super stop. Now a little trick I'll tell you, which I often do with these, especially when you're just using formula expanders, is just trim it a little bit. Just chop 2 or 3 mil off it, because the less you see that, the better for skimmers. So just trim a little bit off, and that's it. So I'm going to swap that bomb for a feeder. We'll make a quick cast. I'm going to go with the same feeder that I used on the canal, which is a little 5 gram Browning feeder, tiny little feeder. This one's 5 gram as well. So because of the silt, we'll see. It's got quite a bit of a wind. Oh, cormorant's right where I want to be chucking. It's got quite a bit of a wind, so we'll see. We'll see if that's going to hold in the toe or not. So I haven't really tried that yet. So I'm just going to start and finish on that. So I've just popped a few little micros in there. Just mostly crushed expander I'm going to feed. I could pop a few expanders in as well. So that's what I'm going to chuck out. Oh, how have I baited up, wouldn't it? I'm going to start off on a Pro expander. And I'm just going to... Should we pop a... Let's pop a 4 mil on to begin with. I did these last night and kept them in the fridge. You see, that's why I chop it down, because obviously it's more discreet with just a 4 mil expander, and that's it. So I was going to use my distance sticks, but I'm just going to show you how I've got my range. I'm fishing to a clip. I'm just line up with that little tree there. Right. So I'm 24 turns out, but I don't know if you can see there. I've just, won't be able to see with that handle. I've just marked that line with a marker pen where the line clip is. So if I have to pay out line, I've just gone there with a marker pen. So I can find that again if I have to unclip, because there are some great big carp in here. So yeah, so that's where we are now, and it's 24 turns. I've already counted the turns on the reel. I have got some measuring sticks, but to be honest, for a session like this, we don't need to be that professional. So I'm 24 turns out, and if I have to unclip, I've got it on there. So we'll make a few quickish casts, and we'll just see what that wind situation's like. It's right to left. I'm tucked behind this tree, so I'm out the wind. I've walked all the way around. I've gone over that bank where it would have been off my back, but it was quite fresh there, and obviously a bit. That's the roadside as well, so I can park behind my peg just here, and I'm at the deeper end of the lake, so everything's good. I'm all tucked away. I've got a few hazards here, bits of reed and stuff to watch out for. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. But we'll see. We'll see if we can catch on expanders. It's a great method. I've used this before at quite a few venues. Barston Lakes, I've had the most success with it because it's, again, very, very shallow, full of skimmers. There's probably more skimmers in Barston than there is here. But well, that looks like a little indication. So I'm hoping with a hair-rigged expander, they're going to hook themselves quite a bit, and I don't have to do too much striking. Hopefully when that tip bends round, it'll be on. I'm sure I had a little tremble. I'm not 100% sure if you're allowed braided reel line here or not, but that would have been an option certainly if it was allowed. I think it is allowed, but I don't know is the honest answer. But I'm more than happy to be using mono with this. You're just chucking a comfortable little lob, a little light feeder, and we're gonna just build it up. So I'm not going to leave it any longer than that for the first cast. Just want to get a few bits of pudding in. And expanders is quite a filling hook bait, so I fully expect to come back without it on half the time as well. Should we pop a 6mm on to begin with, because that's a little bit, they're a little bit firmer, the 6s. Yeah. We'll swap between 6mm and 4mm. We can pop a few in. We'll just pop a few in as well. So there's a few little expanders in there, capped off with a little bit of crush. Hook my towel. There we are. Yeah, so I've got a lovely little, I don't know, is that a silver birch tree or something? It's very silvery anyway. Just about hitting the clip. Should have punched that a little bit harder really, but we hit the clip anyway. I'm always scared to cast too hard with an expander on the hair. But we'll see how long it takes. Might take half hour to get a bite. That cormorant going around is not going to have done the peg any good, but we shall see. I'm hoping the bites are pretty good on this as well. We could go finer. I think 015 fluorocarbon's hopefully ample. Nice compromise between being fine enough to get skimmer bites, stiff enough not to get too many tangles, and we'll just lengthen and shorten that tail to suit. Because it's such a light feeder, I'm more than happy with 2 rubber float stops as my adjustment. I don't know if a short or a long hook length will be better. And obviously if this doesn't work, I've got some worms we can mince up. I've got a handful of dead maggots from the weekend. But be nice to catch on this, something a bit different. We're just giving it a bit of a drag. But that bottom's going to be ultra soft. At least that 1/2 ounce quiver tip's going to show up the smallest of plucks today. A little feeder, tiny little bit of bait, so we don't have to leave it in too long. We can make plenty of casts. Never in danger of overfeeding. We can always chuck an empty feeder as well if we put too much in. Just tiny amounts of bait going in that little cage. Build it up nice and slowly. Punch it a little bit harder this time. Now I've got my range. Beautiful. I always lift the rod up when I hit that clip. Get people ask. Just gains me a real turn. It's definitely gone a bit cooler. We've had 2 days of heavy rain overnight. Well, a lot of rain during the day yesterday as well. And the leaves are definitely coming down now. Rope's just top there, near my tip. A couple of little tentative plucks, but nothing to suggest there's any quality fish in the peg just yet. Yeah, so that's one fact. Expanders were sort of pioneered at this place. And the other fun fact for you is they filmed part of Men in Black at this place, Castle Ashby. Not on this lake. They weren't catching skimmers. And I'm going to lengthen that already. Let's just go a little bit longer. No rhyme or reason, just what I feel like I should be doing. And there's something nice about fishing really shallow estate lakes that are full of silvers, hopefully full of silvers. I've been here, I don't know if it was this lake. I think it was. I came here, I don't know, how many years ago, 8, 10 years, something like that, with Steve Ringer. And we did a pole fishing article on the opposite bank. And he caught a load of bream on the pole. And then I came earlier this year on the Brickyard Pond coaching someone. And they are my 2 only visits. Again, a couple of liners. Give it a drag. Well, we had 4 casts, 5 casts. We've had a couple of little indications each chuck. So we've got a little single expander on there. It's a day ticket venue, by the way, £8 on the bank. 2 very friendly bailiffs. This is just a real nice place. I'm glad I've sat here out the wind. If it just flicks a little bit further, they will be having it in our mush. Okay, let's bring it right down. We've got a really short tail next to the feeder now. Very short tail now. So I'm not too surprised it's been a slow start. I think we'll get a little flurry of action. I'm hopeful we will. A little cluster of balls coming up right where I've been chucking. It's a good sign. Something's grubbing about. Probably a 25-pound carp, of which there are a few in here. Ooh, that's the most. There you are. Got one. Yeah, you can say that was the most linery bite we've had. You tell was going to get a bite then. Not sure what it is. Oh, it is a skimmer. First of many, I hope. That was on a really short tail as well. There we are. Our very first Castle Ashby skimmer. Lovely fish. Phew. It was a relief to catch your first one. I'm just going to extend that just a touch. Just a 3-inch. Even though we've had that one, I just feel we need to be a touch longer. It took 10 minutes to get that first one, but or seven casts, is it? Something like that. Ooh, crikey. He'll be on. Savage little bite. A roach, I think. Or a rudd. Oh, it was a roach or a rudd. It really fell off. Savage little bite though. Got them going now. Trying to learn if I have to strike at these bites or whether they'll just hook themselves. Hairigan promotes self-hooking, but obviously these are silverfish, so sometimes you've just got to coax them onto the hook a little bit. Definitely feels like there's some fish there now, but I think there's a lot of tinies there. That's what it feels like. I've just seen two tiny fish jump. Oh, they're being chased by a perch, definitely. Some really, really big perch in here, and again, someone's chasing them. Seems to be a running theme with me feeder fishing. Little fish erupting where I'm chucking. It's on the drop. Yep. I think that's what we've got in the peg at the moment. I assume this is another rudd. That was straight away. Might not be a rudd. What we got? What we got? Oh, where is a skimmer? Oh, it was a skimmer. Oh, it was a skimmer. It just suddenly woke up when it got nearer to me. It was a skimmer instantly. What's wrong with barbler sucks? It'll be on. Better one. Better one. Away. That one definitely wasn't coming off. It's immaculate fish, aren't they? Oh, huge cluster of bubbles came up. Another little skimmer. The lunge downwards. Yeah, much littler skimmer, that one. Might be why he was just sat there with it in his mouth. I think he's been on. Didn't want to swim off. Oh, we've got a few going now, haven't we? Certainly got a few bubbles in the peg. Hood's going up now, I'm afraid. Cold. Ooh. Chilly, chilly. What have we got? Not very big. Roach. Yeah, 3 species on the expander. It's not solid, but we're getting bites and indications, and it's getting the old grey matter working as we're trying to work out how best to catch them and convert them. A bit faster now, aren't they? I'm going to wet that expander up a little bit more now so it's a bit more sloppy. I think it's dried out a little bit and it's probably just hanging a little bit. I want these fish to be down, not unhappy down. Down, down, down. I want it nice and heavy now. It'll help with casting as well. But we're just ensure it's all gonna sink. Yeah, it's a lot wetter now. Cool. And I've over wet these as well a little bit. They're micros. They're on the mushy side, so I can swap between the two. Back to a 6mm. Just lengthen that a fraction. Just little tweaks all the time. Just trying to make something happen, really. Trying to learn all the time. Yeah. Chuck that till I left a bit. Just see if we can sort of create a bit of a breakaway from the main shoal. Skimmers tend to hang around the periphery anyway. We will try to the right as well, but I thought we'll just try chucking to the left a bit. So we've got a secondary swim just down the peg. metre and a half. I'm imagining there's a lot of silvers there now, and we're just thinning them out a little bit. There we go. Quite a few little plugs. Just keep winding them. Get them facing the right way and just wind. Peas in a pod at the moment, aren't they? I was on a 6 mil of that. Feels like there's a few skimmers about now, and the tiny nuisance fish have dissipated a little bit. So it feels anyway. I think right at the start, definitely a lot of those rudd and things were in the peg. Whoop. Is he on? Gotta be on. Yeah, we've got them going now, haven't we? I'll catch these till the cows come home with us all day long. That's a normal 4mm Pro expander. I've been swapping between them all, but that was a quick bite on a Pro expander. Try and find a firmer one. See how long this one takes. Dropping a few in the feeder now. The arm to feed a few. A really short tail, probably about 9 inch. Savage straight away. I think we've got them going now. A roach. Nice roach. See how long this one takes if we time it. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. He's already on. 19 seconds, and that was on before I'd even sunk it. Feels slightly better one. Not roach this time. That's probably our best one of the lot. I didn't strike then, I just wound, and we're into a better skimmer. I saw some disturbance when I hooked it. It's a pound. Let's see if it's a better one. Feels better one. Oh yeah. There we are. Brown one. Lovely fish. He's an old warrior, isn't he? Best one so far. Little 4mm, and I didn't strike, I just wound that time. Just trying things, mix things up, trying to learn all the time. So we've had a roach, a couple of rudd, 8 or 9 hand-sized skimmers, and we finally caught a better one. We've had no signs at all on this chub. Just twitched it and it was on. It was a decent fish. Waited a little while for that bite. Seems if you wait a little while, you sometimes pick up a slightly better one. He'll back up. And a bit quiet, a bit of a twitch. And a little skimmer straight away. Loads of these hand-sized skimmers today. Loving it. You can catch a couple of brown ones though. Oh, he's not a bad one. Not a bad one. Ooh, he'll be on. Oh, a lovely way to spend a couple of hours, eh? Get much better than this. Nice fish again. Oh, a couple of red kites up there. Right, I'm going to try and catch a couple of better ones in the next half an hour. And if not, doesn't matter, we've had a load of fish anyway, haven't we? The rudder are absolutely erupting every time I chuck now. Let's just see if moving, just a couple of meters to the right, just see what happens. I'm always trying to learn, trying to see if that makes a difference or not. I could have unclipped and gone a metre or two past. So a 4mm Pro expander's probably edged it. Oh, is he on? I think that is on. It was on. I don't think that was a skimmer. I think that was picked up by a snaffling rudd. Yeah, let's pop the 4mm. One of these on, put some more in there, ready. But I'll say these have edged it, I think, today. Just got to be ever so careful when you hook them that you don't tear it when you pull the needle back out and create an angle. Another cast to the right. Yeah. Could have wipe that line to sink then. That's why, because we've got one on. Could tell some weren't right by the time it took that line to sink. We've only had a couple of fish flap off, haven't we, at the net? And it was a couple of the earlier ones. That was on double expander, that. Peas in a pod really, aren't they? I think the only issue we've had today is those little rudd on the surface. I think they've been intercepting it on the way down a few times and really sort of attacking it, whittling it down. If nothing else, we've rested our main spot where we've made the most casts. Absolutely erupting. It's not bleak on the river, it's rudd on the still waters. I've had bites moving swim, but I'm not hitting any of them. I'm going to go back to the original spot and just see if those 3 or 4 casts have helped shift the fish a little bit. I think if we would have put dead maggots on, we wouldn't have got through the rudd. Yeah, I say that the downside of this, how I'm fishing today, is possibly the fact that you never quite know how long your pellet's on for. If there's any small fish about, whittling it away, whereas, you know, worms and maggots and that are a bit more resilient. I ran that one in a bit too much, didn't I? If we catch 5 more of these, or a couple more better fish, whichever one comes first, then we'll have to call it a day. Yeah, I don't want to leave my daughter stranded at school, although she'd probably like that if her friends were there as well. Yeah, regardless what happens, let's go a little bit. Let's go two rod rings further. And our next chuck. We haven't got much longer, so we might as well just try going past the feed. Floating reeds in the way. Watch me catch that. To the left of it. I think we had one on the drop. We did. Yeah, could tell. 6-minute expander, rudd on the drop. Oh, roach that time. Shows you ravenous, aren't they? They're ravenous. I'm getting absolutely mullered by a rudd now. The sun's out. It's flat calm. The leaves are in my peg. It's all gone a bit pear-shaped now. The bigger the expander, the more rudd you seem to catch. I'm persevering with it for now because it's a bit tougher for the hook or the hair. Just trying to catch 1 or 2 more. Caught plenty already. I was hoping to catch another 1 or 2 better ones, but I had to make do with a load of hand-sized ones. It's erupting every time I chuck. But the bites definitely seem less skimmery now. A bit more jagged, as if it's like roach and rudd trying to destroy your hook bait before a skimmer can find it. Like that. Well, you probably can't see because the sun's a little bit naughty now. He'll be on though. Small skimmer, I think. Not so many of the brown ones today, but small skimmer. string. 2 more? Try and catch 2 more. Two more. Sun's out. I'd love to stop longer. The leaves have just dissipated a little bit so I can actually sink the line again. Sounds like a completely different day now. Beautiful. Slightly better one. One more. Then we'll go. Big roach on the chop. I've got to end on a skimmer, haven't I? I said one more, but I meant one more skimmer. I didn't actually see the bite on the last one, but it will do. What a cracking little way to spend a couple of hours fishing with little skimmers like that. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again. Look, you know I can see a little bit of bait there, and I didn't see that bite, so we can try and catch another. It's probably the smallest one we've had. Absolutely scraping the barrel now. It was a reasonable fish. Nice one to end on. Oh yeah, slightly better one to end on. He will do. I've got no more bait left anyway. Look, that's all I've got left. I'm chucking that away. It's forced me not to have another cast. That's a nice one to end on. Happy with that. Slip you back. See you again on the next one.